the most important 7 things before we get into the MongoDB course. That is, try to use a very good client with MongoDB. The time required for this will be less than 15 minutes. In MongoDB, everything is JSON and JavaScript based. You'll be playing with JSON content. A document is nothing but a JSON content. So this you need to understand it clearly. There are many good clients are available for MongoDB because the command line provided by the MongoDB team is not enough. It takes quite a lot of effort to work with the command line. So I basically recommend you to use a very good client. I'm using Mongo Booster, which has IntelliSense support. I'm in Mongo Booster client. You can see here I'm connected to MongoDB. I have the collections listed. I have the documents here. And the most important thing is we get IntelliSense support. For example, if I type db.chatmessages. I'll be able to see the methods available with the examples here. And similarly, it gives you a lot of code snippets that you can use in your code. So this is Mongo Booster. In addition to IntelliSense support, it has quite a lot of ready-made tools. You can use them from here. You have text data generator, you have schema analyzer. You can import from JSON files, you can export, and you can even import tables from MySQL, Postgres, and then MS SQL. So I always recommend you to use a good client like Mongo Booster to learn MongoDB easily. In our course, we are covering about the 4 famous MongoDB clients that you can use. That is RoboMongo, now it's called as Robo3T, MongoChef, that is now called as Studio 3T, then the famous Mongo Booster, and finally NoSQL Manager. Now to the second one, that is the unique ID field. The time required to understand this is less than 10 minutes. It's very easy. Every MongoDB document must have an associated unique ID. This unique ID field is automatically generated by MongoDB. You can also provide your own unique ID. So you need to understand about this unique ID field because this is new in MongoDB when compared to the traditional databases. In traditional databases, for tables, we need to specify a column as an auto-generated unique ID, whereas in MongoDB, this comes by default. For example, this is the object ID which is generated by default by the system. So for every insert I did, object ID is generated. This is the ID field and you can see the object ID is generated. To learn more about this unique ID field, please visit the MongoDB documentation page. It's available here. In this documentation page, you can see about documents. Under this, the information about ID field is provided. ID holds an object ID. Click on this, you'll be able to get more details about the ID field. And this particular line is very important. As you can see here, the field name underscore ID is reserved for use as a primary key. Its value must be unique in the collection and is immutable. So this is important. To get more details about the ID key, visit this page. Based on types, under this object ID, details are provided here. So that's a point number 2 about the unique ID field. Just learn about that, it's important. In MongoDB, a document is a JSON content. So this is very important. JSON is easy. Most of you might have known about it already. We have a separate section about JSON and we are covering some of the tools like XML to JSON converter and JSON generators. You can easily understand about JSON from this page. So these are the data types available. And similarly, this example shows you how JSON is organized. For CRUD operation, that is create, retrieve, update and delete, we have demo session with 4 different clients, and similarly later in section 2 we are covering this in detail including arrays. It's very easy. You can easily insert, update, delete and edit documents using the MongoDB clients. I'm using here Mongo Booster. You can see how easy it is. So you need to learn CRUD operation in detail. Finally, we have the most important one, that is SQL to MongoDB method mapping. This is very important because as you know that MongoDB doesn't support SQL. As most of us have SQL background, MongoDB team has provided a very good documentation for SQL to MongoDB mapping. Similarly, we have a section about MySQL and MongoDB. So please use this. So this is the third most important thing. It takes only 15 minutes. The fourth one is the important one, that is you must know how to use the MongoDB manual. This is a manual page and you can see things over here. For example, if I search for how to find a document, you'll be able to see the methods here. Similarly, under collection, we have set of methods which you can easily understand by their name itself. And similarly, under every method, an example is given. So this document is as good as of Microsoft's document. You have example for most of the methods and the functionalities. So you need to learn about the MongoDB manual. The fifth most important one is aggregation. The time required for this is less than 20 minutes. Aggregation is of high importance because you'll be playing with data. That's how we are going for MongoDB. So you'll be grouping data, you'll be analyzing data. So MongoDB provides a set of operators for projecting the data, analyzing the data, grouping the data, summing the data. For example, you want to get the sales total in a particular region for a particular product, you'll be using the aggregation. In other big data systems, we'll be using MapReduce framework and you'll be writing your own code. For example, in Hadoop, you have to use the MapReduce framework and you have to write your code. Whereas MongoDB provides you with the aggregation framework where you can use the operators and methods available to do that very easily. If you see this documentation page with this example, you can easily understand how this is happening. So this topic, aggregation, is of high importance because this is one of the main reasons we are going to use MongoDB. The sixth one is GridFS. This is one of the easiest topic to understand. In MongoDB, we have a size limit of around 16 MB for every document. So to overcome this, MongoDB has provided a separate efficient GridFS framework. So using GridFS, you can easily handle binary files like video files, audio files, or PDF files, and you can partially retrieve them and you can distribute them easily. This is one of the main use of MongoDB, and most of the medical companies using MongoDB use this feature. Now to the seventh and the final one, that is the basic small things. The time required is 45 minutes. As I mentioned earlier, in MongoDB, the document is a JSON content. You can embed documents within documents so that you can relate between two documents, or you can keep documents in different collections and then you can relate them using document reference. So this you need to understand it, and we have a separate section for explaining this. It's here. Then comes data models. It's explained here in the documentation clearly how to have relationships between different documents. So you need to understand these basics. Then, as every databases, MongoDB has indexes and how to use them. So this is clearly explained in the indexes section. We have a video content here. Since MongoDB is schemaless, text search is very important, and how to do that. We have a separate video section here, and similarly this is the documentation page for text search. MongoDB is primarily a OLAP database, but it can be used for OLTP purpose also. MongoDB supports atomicity for a single document operation. Also note that you can have multiple documents within a single document. So this gives a traditional OLTP table-like feature. You need to learn about that. This is the documentation page for that. Then how to do batch operations in MongoDB. This is the easy feature, and this is the documentation page for that. And finally, we have how to use programming languages with MongoDB. So we have a separate section for that. We have Node.js, PHP, C#, and Java covered here. And we even explain about the GridFS functionality also. So these are the 7 important things you need to know about MongoDB. For those who wish to learn MongoDB quickly, there is a short 50 minutes video tutorial with a accompanying document in the bonus section. This covers most important aspects of MongoDB. As you can see here, it has all the key features of MongoDB covered. You can use that if you want to learn about MongoDB in less than an hour. We have a document with 20 simple questions for self-learning. It's easy and informative. Please use that. These questions will enhance and encourage you to learn about MongoDB by yourself easily. Similarly, we have 11 simple resources to boost your MongoDB learning. This is a video section. This is available here. It's very informative. Please use that also. We have many assignment activities in this course. I'll show a few of them. These are all practical activities that will surely enhance your practical know-how of MongoDB. These are very important. Please try to finish these activities. Similar to activities, almost every topic is followed by a quiz section. Please do them. They are very informative. Most questions will have an accompanying answer with a link which gives you good knowledge about the topic. The sources used in the course are available in the resource section. Few of them are here. Please use them also. Let us continue with the course now. Do remember that these are the most important 7 things you need to learn with MongoDB, and we have a separate 50 minutes video tutorial for those who want to learn MongoDB quickly. That is available in the bonus section.